Hey guys, it's Fuse here, and as you can see, well, I look a bit different. Alongside this video comes a big change for the channel. I'm changing our name. From now on, this channel will be called JustFuse. I made this change because Fusebox Gaming just didn't feel right anymore, and I want to expand beyond just gameplay and make a large variety of content going forward. It's not that I'm done playing games on the channel, far from it. I have a ton of gameplay-based content coming this year and well beyond. I just want to leave the door open to more types of content in the future. Speaking of which, today's video is a bit different from my normal uploads. Today, I'm going to be showing you some regional variant concepts I came up with for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, before we start, let me establish some ground rules. First off, each variant's base stat total must remain the same. So if I made a Charizard variant, its stats could not exceed a total of 534 across the board. I did this because this is really how Game Freak and the Pokemon Company have done regional variants in the past, and I figure they'll continue this trend into the future, so I'm going to stick with it as well. Second, Steel types were completely excluded from the list of types I could use, mainly because they didn't appear in the trailer at all apart from Lucario. And finally, each Pokemon must have a method of capture that does not involve battling it. That way, each Pokemon can be given a unique quest to acquire them. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into it, starting with... So, if there's one regional variant that's been in the spotlight a ton when it comes to this game, it's Porygon. That's why I decided to put my own spin on this classic with my Rock Ghost-type variant. Its Pokédex entry reads as follows. When rock Pokemon erode, their souls sink below the ground. Eventually, these souls merge into a spiritual mass of energy, which bonds to minerals to form a new body. It then emerges as a Porygon and hunts for more rock Pokemon souls to assimilate. If you couldn't tell by that Dex entry alone, this Porygon is not to be messed with. However, its intimidating qualities don't stop there. With 100 base special attack, this little monster can easily stomp out many threats that cross its path, and for those more physical opponents, its new ability, Spectral Residue, leaves the opponent paralyzed on contact with Porygon, much like the ability Static. Unsurprisingly, this is not an easy Pokemon to capture. In order to catch Hisui and Porygon, you must travel to the desert area of the map and wait until nightfall. Next, you must have a rock Pokemon on your team start wandering around near you. We've seen in previous trailers that you can have multiple follow Pokemon out at a time, so this should be possible. Eventually, Porygon will emerge and begin chasing your Pokemon. Here, you can choose to battle it, or wait for an opportunity to throw a well-placed Pokeball at it and catch it by surprise. Either way, this capture certainly won't be easy. Next up, okay, I've got to clear something up before starting this one. I started making these variants back in September of 2021, so when I found out Cleavor was coming as a new Scyther evolution, well, needless to say, I was upset. Regardless, I still think this variant is really cool, and I'm going to showcase it anyway, because it could still happen. You never know. With that said, meet the all-new Bug Ice-type Scizor. Its Pokédex entry reads as follows. When Scyther and Hisui are stranded in the region's frigid winter, their bodies adapt by creating a chrysalis of snow and ice. After the winter ends, they emerge covered in an icy hide that is harder than diamonds. While a Bug Ice type would normally be a horrible idea, this Scizor manages to compensate for its weaknesses with its higher than average physical defense, its insane physical attack, and its great speed. In addition to these, Scizor's new ability, Glacial Armor, reduces the damage of super effective Steel and Rock type moves down to quarter effectiveness. In terms of acquiring one for yourself, well, Hisui and Scizor are often quite difficult to find, let alone capture. They are only found in the northern tundras of Hisui, and often travel in packs. If a member of the pack is startled by a trainer, the rest of the pack will gang up and begin attacking the trainer as well. As such, the best way to capture a Hisui and Scizor is to draw it out with berries, specifically a Chardy or Babiri berry. In a recent trailer, we saw that berries can be used to lure Pokemon out and capture them more easily, so this method is more than plausible. After spotting one of these berries, a Hisuian Scizor is likely to break off from the pack to consume it. That's when you can either risk throwing a Pokeball or weakening it for an easy capture, both of which could alert the pack to your presence. So, overall, Hisuian Scizor will most likely be one of the more difficult captures on this list. Next up, now this one may be the strongest variant yet. Introducing the electric fire type Ampharos. Its Pokédex entry reads as follows. Due to the bitter cold in the Hisui region, Flaffy use the electricity their bodies generate to heat themselves. When they evolve, this heat grows so extreme that it bursts out as flames which can be seen from miles away. The rings that form on its body regulate the electricity and allow Ampharos to control the intensity of the flames. If you couldn't tell by that dex entry alone, this Ampharos is monstrously powerful. With an insane special attack stat of 140, Ampharos is sure to overwhelm almost any enemy that crosses its path. Additionally, its signature ability Heat Barrier disables weather and prevents it from being changed as long as Ampharos is on the field, making it even harder to weaken the power of Ampharos' moves. Capturing one of these is actually not as difficult as you'd think. On the border between the snowy tundra and sandy beaches of Hisui, you can sometimes spot Ampharos walking around. They are very friendly and tend to be indifferent towards the presence of humans, so simply throwing a Pokeball at one should be enough to catch it. However, get too close and the extreme heat Ampharos gives off will start to damage you and you'll end up passing out. It is recommended that you take aim at Ampharos from a distance and catch it that way. Our next two entries are very special, and would most likely act as an entire questline unto themselves, so I'm going to cover their capture methods at the very end, as they tie into each other. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start with... Hisuian Latios is often spoken of in hushed whispers across the Hisui region. That's because this dragon electric-type legendary is known for the devastation it causes wherever it goes. Its Pokédex entry reads as follows. Latios' body is filled with the energy of a living storm. It chases after its sibling, Latias, creating some of the most dangerous weather in the world as it does. Eventually, Latias must calm Latios in order to prevent Latios' storm from destroying entire continents. Latios isn't just feared because of the legends. See what I did there? It also has some incredible stats. With an insurmountable 150 special attack, an impressive 110 in both special and regular defense, and a solid 100 base HP, Hisuian Latios is a bulky monster. This is, of course, balanced by its low speed, making it feasible to defeat in battle. Yet, on top of all this, there's even more to talk about with this Pokemon. You see, its ability Storm Surge allows it to randomly create either rain, hail, or a sandstorm. This also allows its signature attack, Purging Storm, to change types depending on the weather. Ice type for hail, electric for rain, and ground for sandstorm. But no Latios is complete without... Latias is the younger, more impulsive sibling of the Lati duo. It is known for recklessly flying anywhere and everywhere, leaving untold havoc in its wake. Its Pokédex entry reads as follows. The flames it emits can grow as hot as the sun. It moves at high speeds, creating widespread heat waves in its wake. These heat waves are usually followed by intense storms. As you can tell, Latias is known for its flames as well as its speed, and its stats reflect this. With a whopping 150 in both attack and speed, Latias is just about the most powerful glass cannon you could ask for. Couple this with its new ability Scorching Winds, which lowers the opponent's speed and accuracy each turn, and you have quite the powerful team member. Its signature move, Fireball Crash, is a priority physical fire attack that deals massive damage to all enemies on the field. But be warned, if the attack misses, Latias will take a huge amount of recoil damage as a result, so be careful when using it. Now then, you're probably asking yourself, how do I catch these two new legends? Well, the quest is fairly difficult, obviously. First off, you have to make a choice whether to start with either Latios or Latias. If you choose Latias, you'll spend your time flying around with Hisuian Braviary, as Latias is always on the move. The best way to catch this dragon is to either figure out its flight path and throw a ball ahead of it, or fly directly into it and pray it doesn't sweep your team. Either way, it won't be easy. More than that, catching Latias first will anger Latios. If this happens, you'll have to engage in a difficult noble battle against Latios, and fight to both capture the dragon and survive the battle. However, if you decide to go after Latios first, then you'll be spending your time on the backs of Weirdeer and Bascu Legion as you scour the land and sea for the Stormbringer. Once you do find it, you'll have to be stealthy, as Latios is very aggressive. It is recommended that you stock up on Ultra Balls, and be sure to bring lots of Shuka Berries. If you do succeed in acquiring Latios, however, Latias will take notice. Now, instead of merely flying around, Latias will try to avoid you and will even run from battles you start with it. So, the already difficult Latias capture will become even more tiresome. And that's everything! I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, as I've been working on it for almost 4 months now. If you did, please leave a like, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. If you really want to keep up with me, be sure to turn on post notifications and follow me on Twitch. I'd love to see some of your regional variant ideas as well, so leave them in the comments below, and who knows, maybe they'll appear in the next episode. With that said, I will catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.